Good morning. Today is Wednesday in Munich, just a normal day in my life. And I decided to try vlogging and taking you with me through the day. I've lately seen a lot of people talking about this documenting your boring life, vlogging daily thing and the advantages it apparently has. So I thought, okay, I'll just try it myself and see how it goes. Alright, I'm gonna start working now. I usually try to get going as soon as possible after waking up because I feel in the morning my brain is still completely fresh, untouched with external stimulation, and yeah, I want to use this reset that comes from the night to do the most important tasks in the first hours of the morning. And I also usually stay completely offline in those hours until lunch to just really focus on the tasks at hand. And today this is going to be diving deep into AI image generation and fine-tuning image models, as I'm currently building a lot of AI automations, and this is an area that I haven't looked into so far. So I'm going to do a deep dive into that. And by the way, before you ask, yes, this is what we use as a teacup in Munich. We don't settle for less here. Okay, I just fine-tuned an image model and the model is done training now. So now it's the moment of truth to see if it actually worked. Okay, that is pretty sick. It's also way better than like ChatGPT 4o image gen, because it has way more context in my face as I uploaded like a data set of like 40 pictures. Not bad. And I think when tweaking it a little bit more, this might actually be really helpful for generating images for social media posts or especially YouTube thumbnails, because they are often a pain in the ass to make. Alright, I'm gonna experiment a little bit more with this and then get lunch.
Food blogger or not?
Damn. Okay, my flatmate is all in.
It's a Mexican. It's not really Mexican. I think it'd be a shame to actually call this Mexican. Yeah, it's probably
multicultural.
It does the job.
Okay, in situations like this I actually noticed that it's kind of cringe to do this vlogging stuff. What is your take on it?
I guess it's only cringe at first.
Yeah.
But when you get used to it and you stop giving a shit, I think it becomes a lot more natural. Yeah, also like when you actually just vlog what's going on.
True. And also it's probably just a matter of how you think about it personally. Like if you want to make it cringe, it can be very cringe. But if it's just confident in what you're doing and know why you're doing it, then it can be actually quite cool. Let's see.
No, I think if you're trying to create a situation, then I think that's where it typically becomes cringe. Which is why I like in my posts and stuff I never talk about like how you should do something. It's just like, how do I do it?
Yeah. Show, don't tell.
Why you keep fucking with me? You gon' make me jump out my skin, believe me.
Alright, while the models are training, we're gonna train as well.
Yes, let's go.
They don't fuck with me even if they could. Pull out the stick, hit a bitch with the wood. First part road was breaking the hood. Don't worry about us over here, we good. The AP Roman numeral. Everybody go, I need pharmaceuticals. I ran my whole conglomerate. I was just mapping shit out in the cubicle. Suicide cool is a funeral. Track hard lunch like a slingshot. Big ol' ruby diamond on my pinky finger. That bitch look like a mini pop. Money on my mind, money on your head. Can't ride 3 times when you coming through the jet. Red Cross kept a nigga fed. In the studio with K-Dot, fresh out the feds. Yeah, you niggas can't stand the rain. You niggas don't stand a chance. Yeah, sharp like candy paint. I spin the bin in the bin. I call the bill off.
That was great. I really like this mixture of staying at home the first half of the day, fully focused, offline, no distractions, and then get outside at least once a day to meet friends, co-work, work outside when the weather is great like today, and do physical exercise. I think that's a great balance and really helps me to stay productive while also enjoying it. Alright, it's a few days later And I just want to share my thoughts from this vlogging experiment and what I want to take away from it moving forward. You can see from this abrupt ending that I'm definitely not a vlogging pro yet. And yeah, I just was in a rush going to the airport, and at the airport I wanted to be fully present, so I didn't continue filming. But yeah, nevertheless, it was a really fun experiment, challenging yourself to see the beauty and the interesting parts in your mundane, boring, repetitive everyday life. And for this, vlogging really helps. It's really interesting to think about a storyline for the day that made me reflect more about what I'm actually doing and spending my time with, and decide more deliberately what I want to do. And this also made me feel kind of accountable in living a life that holds up to my standards, because everything I do, I have to share. So I better be doing things that are useful, keep my room clean, etc., etc. So I think if you regularly have this vlogging as part of your life, that makes it easier to have every area in your life under control. It doesn't mean, of course, on days where I'm not vlogging, that everything is pure chaos, but it's just a little extra push, a little extra motivation to really be consistent with it. I really like the visual storytelling element of it. Thinking of cool ways to capture everyday life just trains the eye, trains the cinematography, and also helps in seeing the beauty in all the things you do every day. It also has some kind of training, coaching effect, because when you edit the footage, you kind of see yourself as a third person, and that helps in noticing patterns when it comes to your rhetorics or your behavior, your posture, whatever it is. You kind of have this external eye on your life, and I think that helps. If you do it constantly, that helps in improving certain things and noticing patterns that you wouldn't notice if you just always stick to yourself and don't have this third person perspective on it. So I can definitely see why so many people are excited about it and regularly capture their everyday life and do vlogging. It definitely has advantages, and if you do it intrinsically, I think this is the baseline prerequisite. It has to come from within and not, oh, okay, so many people are doing it and it has those advantages, well, I guess I have to do it too. I think that's a dumb way to start it, because it definitely takes a lot of confidence, energy, and also time to do it. So you should really be motivated from within and have this urge to capture cool things and tell stories. But if you do it, it can be a confidence boost, it can be an energy boost, and yeah, it just accelerates your growth, because you're kind of forced to regularly go out of your comfort zone. But on the other hand, it takes quite some extra time, and it might decrease the experience in the moment, because I felt during the day I was not always fully in the moment, because I was always thinking in the back of my head about the storyline and the shots and when I film, when I don't film. So instead of 100% being fully focused on the task or moment at hand, there's always like 15-20% brain capacity running in the background thinking about the vlog. And that can be beneficial, because like this capacity is used for basically reflecting on your life and thinking about the situation from a different angle, so you can see it as a positive thing. But I would say it's not always positive, and there were moments, for example, then later at the airport, that's also why I didn't film, when I just wanted to be fully present and didn't want to think about the vlog situation. And this can also hurt the productivity, because if I just like lock in, especially the first half of the day, and just do my thing, do the task I want to accomplish, of course I get more done than when I also try to vlog the process. So overall, it's actually kind of cool, and I will experiment with this in the future, but I won't do it too regularly, and not in the way that I just randomly capture everyday life. I think A, that's too much overhead, and B, I don't really see the value in it, especially for other people. Because what excites me about filmmaking, storytelling, content creation, it's capturing vibes, sharing moments with other people, sharing my thoughts and ideas with the outside world, and then also inspiring other people and sharing content that is valuable to others, that is inspiring them. And I think by just randomly capturing your life and do regular vlogging, you have a very hard time in providing that value and that inspiration to others. And I personally also don't really consume just pure daily vlogs. I find them kind of boring after a while. So I like content that has a clear direction, a clear purpose, and also some new ideas, some intellectual thought to it. But I also like the authenticity of
this raw, more authentic way of capturing your life. So I think combining the best of both worlds might be a great way moving forward, to have some kind of vlog elements that are more unscripted, more raw, and also generally sharing your thoughts and feelings, but combining this with a clear storyline, with a clear goal for each video that really provides value and has a high value density for the viewer. So it's actually worth for them to spend their time and attention on this piece of content. So yeah, I think this kind of combination is probably going to be my way moving forward and my personal sweet spot. But right now I just really enjoy experimenting with different styles and not just theorizing about them. And yeah, I will continue doing so and hopefully see you in the next one.